Today's reading goal is to be able to list and explain the political factors that shaped the development of the United States. Lesson 12, Section 1. President Washington creates a foreign policy. When George Washington took office as the nation's first president in 1789, the United States was weak militarily. The army that Washington had commanded during the American Revolution had disbanded and had not been replaced for two reasons. First, the government did not have the money to keep its army active. Second, some Americans feared that a standing national army could be used to take away their liberty. State militia troops, they believed, could handle any threats the country might face. And there were indeed threats, because the new nation was surrounded by unfriendly powers. To the north, the British controlled Canada and refused to abandon their forts in the Ohio Valley, even though this region now belonged to the United States. To the south and west, Spain controlled Florida and Louisiana. Events in Europe also threatened the new nation. In 1789, the French people rose up against their king and fought to make France a republic. Some Americans were thrilled by the French Revolution. In 1793, however, France declared war against Great Britain, presenting President Washington with the difficult problem of deciding which side to take. During his own revolution, the United States had signed a treaty of alliance with France in 1778. Alliances are agreements made with other nations to aid and support each other. In that treaty, the United States had promised to aid France in time of war, and many Americans were eager to honor that pledge, even if it meant going to war with Great Britain again. Knowing that the United States was not prepared for war, Washington decided to ignore the treaty and announced a policy of neutrality. Neutrality, it is a policy of not choosing sides in a dispute or war between other countries. Under this policy, the United States would do nothing to aid for either France or Great Britain in the war. Before leaving office, Washington summed up his foreign policy in a farewell address to the nation. The United States, he said, could gain nothing by becoming involved in other nations' affairs. It is our true policy, he declared, to steer clear of permanent alliances with any portion of the foreign world. Washington's policy of avoiding alliances with other countries became known as isolationism. Isolationism is a policy of avoiding political or military agreements with other countries. For the next century, isolationism would be the foundation of U.S. foreign policy.